Yo, 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 yo. What's up, y'all? What's up, family? Welcome back to Real TV. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in. Also, if I haven't mentioned it yet, Happy New Year. I know sometimes you get caught up in the world and you could totally forget. So let's go ahead and get a round of applause for the Happy New Year. Feel free to look at the picture if you don't have fireworks near you. So we're going to go ahead and get a round of applause in 3, 2, 1. We bring to you live Real TV. Yeah. Okay. Happy New Year to the conscious world. And for those who do not know and think we're just in the middle of the year, we're going to do a quick breakdown. It just dawned on me today. And of course, after doing more study and research. Now, first thing I want to say, again, if this is your first time tuning in, I am not ordained. I did not go to school for theology. I did not do any biblical studies under a professor or any studies of the Quran of a professor or any Hindu studies or Buddhist studies. I have just done a personal study over a couple of years now, and I've learned the truth. So I'm not ordained by any means. I haven't received any degree or any certificate with this information. It's not approved by the FDA. It's not approved. All I'm saying is that I'm not a preacher. I'm not a bishop. I am not an apostle. I just tell the truth how it is as I get it. That's what Real TV is all about, bringing it to you real, 100%. So back to the new year. Again, Happy New Year to the conscious world. And for those who do not know, here's what you need to know. All right, so let's start off in a small bite. Okay? Let's start off in a small bite. There's 4 seasons in a year. Your classic spring, summer, winter, fall, which we all know. Spring is when the flowers bloom. There's bees out. The fruit trees have been pollinated. And the air smells a little cleaner. I guess depending on your taste. All right. Summertime. It's beaming hot outside. Right? We already know that. Fall, we know what fall is. And winter, you already know. It's time to snuggle up, get some cappuccino, some hot cocoa with the marshmallows on top. You know, you could take the chocolate syrup off of mine. I just do the marshmallows. I just do marshmallows and hot cocoa in the winter. All right, so we know the common sense of the seasons, and we see the ball drop during New Year's Eve. This is something that we've known for years and have grown up to know. Tradition. I mean, this is tradition of life around the world. And of course, to you all that are in the other parts of the world, in China and Japan and all my Asiatic countries of the other portions of the world, you celebrate, was it Chinese New Year, like in February? I want to say something like that, however that goes. Okay, but the thing about it is that, have you ever questioned why we celebrate the New Year in the dead of winter? I mean, you would think, okay, we celebrating the dead of winter because, spring is coming. But no, 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 no. See, winter, all right, let's start with spring. Spring starts, depending on the year of the day. Depending on the day of the year, it could start anywhere between May 20th to May 22nd, May 23rd. Okay? And then there's 3 months. And then you have summer. And then you have fall starting around September-ish. September 22nd-ish, 23rd-ish, something like that. And then comes December. So basically, we celebrate New Year's Eve at the very start of winter, if you will, only 1 month in. So why is it that we're celebrating New Year's when nature is considered dead, if you will? There's snow, there's no watermelons growing, there's no pineapple, there's no mangoes, rice can't be grown. Your vegetables, your produce, cattle's, your herd. I mean, you know what I mean? The flocks is not good for them to really be, you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? The flowers don't bloom like that in the heart and soul of winter. Have you ever researched or questioned the matrix of why we celebrate New Year's Eve in the beginning of winter, in the death of winter? Spring is life. Summer is resurrection. Fall is burial. Fall is harvest. Winter is death. It's all symbology. It's all symbology. And the thing about it is that the Roman Catholic Church admits to the very act of changing the holidays, changing the Sabbath day. Have you ever researched that? Have you ever thought about why do we celebrate, or why do you go to church on Sunday? Sunday. Even though it's spelled S-U-N, but Sunday, sun god, bow, Beelzebub, sun god. I may have to do a video on this. I don't know if y'all hear me right now. I don't know if you hear me right now. Like, this is real. This is real. Have you done your research? Have you done any reading? The internet is a source, but what books or magazines? I'm not even going to go there. You have the knowledge. You have the insight at your very fingertips. Some of you all are probably watching the show right now from your cell phone or from your iPad. Maybe your Google Watch. You have the knowledge at your very fingertips. It says seek and you shall find. But the thing about it is you're not seeking. How are you going to find if you're not seeking? What would you do if you lost your keys? Would you just sit around? No, you're going to look for your keys. And the thing about it, you look for so long and it's right there in your pocket. Have you ever had that? Have you ever looked for your shades and you wearing them? I know that sounds crazy. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your eyes, but they're above your eyebrows. They hanging inside of your shirt. I bet if you lost your check, you'll go find that check in it. Oh, man. But the thing about it is, this is the truth. This is the truth. Like I said, I'm not your pastor. I'm not ordained anything. I've just done some reading. There's a book called Daniel, and in Daniel chapter 7:25, it says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times dividing of time." I'm not even going to break that down, but just know that that person that they're talking about says that he is going to change the times and laws. I want you to think back for a minute. Do your research and look and see if time is changing. No, you know what? I know some people are lazy, and I know you need people to do the work for you. So let's just have a quick dialogue. This is our one-on-one conversing here. We're going to converse with one another. We're going to have a one-on-one dialogue. Let's just think. Let's talk. Let's get an appetizer. We're not going to get to the meal. Let's get an appetizer, okay? All right. So it says that, they should. We just read from Daniel 7:25 that they would change the time and the laws, right? Right? Okay. All right. So did we just not spring forward a couple of weeks ago? Did we just not fall back a couple of months ago? And we're going to fall back, spring forward? Is that not changing the times? Correct me if I'm wrong, but around, was it around the early 1920s, mid 1900s, that, was it Roosevelt or Reagan? One of them, Roosevelt, right? Well, around that time, okay, after World War II, daylight savings time was commended at that time. That was the start for the soldiers that came back from war so they could spend time with their family and have some daytime with their family. Grill out a little bit, maybe hit the beach, or whatever, what have you, etc. And the job market, I think, was booming at that time with Detroit making the cars and, the assembly lines and things like that. And a lot of the factory workers, I want to say, were in the factory all day. And by the time they got from work, it was dark. So they implemented that changing of times. Who did it? Who did it then? Find out. But this is the changing of time. That's just a small bite. All right. So that's what we do know. And what we also need to know is that it's all about a bait and switch. See, anytime that something serious that we need to be doing, what can I say? There's another event that is going on. That's a big distraction. Easter is celebrating Satan's wife. Passover that we know, or that we call Easter itself is celebrating Satan's wife. Celebrating Passover is what we need to be doing, not Easter. But the holiday is coming up, and I'm not judging. So if you think I am, disregard. I'm not judging. It says, judge not, for you should be judged also. So I'm not judging you. I pick eggs too. I boil eggs too. I dye eggs too. I made Easter baskets. I'm at fault. So I can't blame you. I'm just telling you that Easter is not a good thing. I'm telling you that I never researched Easter before when I was younger. No one ever told me. But the older people had to know, or maybe they didn't know, and they just kept the tradition going. You know what I mean? I wish, or can you imagine if someone brought us up in truth, how far we would be? We're so lost right now and far away from truth that this earthly lifestyle of paganistic holidays seems like normality. And it's not normal, but it seems normal because everybody's doing it. But just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it a good thing. Easter is celebrating Satan's wife. And we're going to go into depth about it a little bit. Easter, there's so many different names. I want you to do some personal research. I'm not going to give you everything in one bite tonight. I'm not going to do that. You got to do a little bit of homework. You got to do a little bit. Like I said before, I may make a video on this. I don't know yet. It is a lot to put together, which I don't mind. I'm just now starting this podcast, so this is all new digital work for me, if you will. But this research and study is not. I've been doing this for a while. So I count it all joy. It's just that I have a lot going on. But I'm trying my best to put this at the top. This is the third show today. And I've been juggling many things today. Many errands and all that. Alright, so there's many different names for Easter. And when you do the research, the name Ishtar will pop up. Or the name Astarte will pop up. Or Venus will pop up. Alright? Or, what's the other lady's name? The same lady, but she, Ishtar, Isis will pop up. Or Semiramis? Can't think of it right now. But the thing about it is that we've been lied to. We've been lied to. It's not about bunnies. You know it's not about no bunny and eggs. You know it's not about bunny and eggs, but we do it anyway. But why? Why? Because you think that the bunny... What does the bunny have to do with the death of Christ? What does the bunny have to do with that? Fertility? You say fertility with what? Why the bunny, though? Why the bunny out of all the animals? You ever thought about it? Why the egg, though? Why gotta be a boiled egg? Why can't it be scrambled eggs? Or sunny side up? I don't like sunny side up eggs, though. I like my eggs scrambled. I like omelets. You know, I like quiche. I like a little quiche here and there. You know what I'm saying? I like a little... Let me stop. But why I gotta be boiled eggs, though? Why they gotta be dyed? In the China culture, and you know that Chinese. No, mad love to you, China. I do have a lot of Chinese friends and associates, but I'm just being honest. In the Chinese culture, most of the Chinese by far are atheists, or I want to say agnostics. Okay, so even the Chinese culture themselves make golden eggs. They make the golden eggs. In Japan, they make brazen eggs. And you can find this in the, this is in the it's called the Two Cities of Babylon. Two Cities of Babylon book. Where it talks about that, about the different cultures celebrating the same holiday. Oh, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. It's crazy. All right, so back on topic. I know I could roam from different topics and stuff. You know, again, I'm keeping it real. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, like a one-on-one dialogue. So again, back to the topic at hand. A little bit about Easter and what it means, how it started. So this whole egg thing derived from, I'm going to say, which name do I want to use? Ishtar. Okay? So Ishtar married her son Nimrod. All right, stay with me now. Stay with me. Her name, she has several names. Remember the names that we mentioned. We mentioned Isis, Ishtar, Astarte, Semiramis. There's a couple other names. So if I say a different name, just follow me, okay? So Ishtar married her son Nimrod. And Nimrod was killed by his brother Set. He was set up. It is said that Set, his brother, had initially put him in this type of casket in this tree trunk, and this casket was holding up the roof of a palace. Right? This sounds crazy, right? All right. So eventually, what was it? Ishtar ended up finding Nimrod and rescuing him. But he was dead. And then, long story short, Set ended up finding the body again, and he cut Nimrod's body up into 14 pieces. All right? Follow me. After he cut the body up into 14 pieces, Ishtar then found the pieces. He scattered the pieces all over the country. And then after that, they found all the pieces except for one. And we're going to get into that shortly. But after Nimrod died, her son, he was sent up to the sun itself. This is Egyptian and Greek mythology, if you will. Okay? All right. But it's based on some truth. So Nimrod was sent to the sun himself as an immortal. All right? And then Ishtar ended up dying herself, and she was sent to the moon. Okay? So when Ishtar wanted to have a baby with Nimrod, and the rays of the sun had made Ishtar pregnant. And when Ishtar was pregnant, she taught, okay, this all sounds weird. I know. All right, but follow me. And Ishtar ended up telling these villages and groups of people of Mesopotamia and in their area that the moon cycle of the moon was also reminiscent of the cycle of the woman, and that the woman on a full moon would be on her cycle. All right? So eventually, when Ishtar was impregnated by the rays of the sun, she gave birth to her son Tammuz. Now, when she gave birth, this egg came down from the moon to the earth. And when the egg sprouted from the egg was called Venus, or another word, Tammuz. Long story short, Tammuz ended up getting killed. And the letter T, Tammuz, is reminiscent of, or I'm not going to say not reminiscent, but the word T, Tammuz, is supposed to be ritualistic and a representation of hot cross buns that are served on Easter. Follow me. All right. So with these hot cross buns, that's pagan worship and supposed to be a ritual between Ishtar and Baal, aka Nimrod, to represent the mourning of their son who was killed. And also during Lent, the 40-day fast of whatever it is, people stop drinking lemonade during Lent. People stop getting on Facebook for Lent. They stop giving the oddest thing. They stop giving up head, going down on people, or having certain types of sex. I mean, all right. The reason for Lent, why I'm saying this, is because they write the letter T on the foreheads with ashes. And people don't even know why they're doing it. They think that the cross symbolizes the cross that Christ died on. No, that's not what it's about. Christ didn't say nothing about celebrating Lent. The T is giving homage to Tammuz, Ishtar's and Nimrod's son. It's a celebration of the mourning of their son. Do you got me? So this is what Easter is all about. The real tradition, we're supposed to be cooking some lamb up with some bitter herbs and, roasting it over a fire and all this and that. And the reason we're supposed to be celebrating it as a whole, as a human race, and especially us, the Jews, for you who are the Jews and for you who are Hebrews, the reason we're supposed to be celebrating this is a remembrance of when the Most High let his people go from Pharaoh and in Egypt. That's what it's all about. And to celebrate the new year. So, with that being said, I do have this verse that I would like to share. This is from Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ." End quote. So this is what we're dealing with, people. And also I'm going to share with you a story that was about Ishtar and about Nimrod. Well, in Egyptian myth, Nimrod's name is Osiris. And I want to say that yes, Osiris. All right, so I'm going to pull up this story here, and then we're going to take a small break, and then we'll come right back. But in this story, this Egyptian story, it talks about the myth and the importance of Iris, or AKA Nimrod. Also, keep in mind, too, right, that when it's 14... No. All right, let me read the story. Let me read the story first. All right, so here's the story. Osiris is traditionally depicted as a bearded man whose legs are mummified. He is often seen wearing a pointed crown with ostrich feathers, holding a crook and flail. All right, let me see. Let's go down here a little bit. Okay. All right. All right. We'll start from right here. All right. One version of the myth of Osiris says that his brother Set, along with the queen of Ethiopia. Oh, keep that in mind. Ethiopia. So that means melanin. All right. To the melanated people. All right. Okay, conspired with 72 accomplices to plot his assassination. Set fooled Osiris into getting into a box, which was sealed and thrown into the Nile. But Osiris's wife, Isis, searched for his remains until she found him embedded in a tamarind tree trunk, which was holding up the roof of a palace. She managed to remove the coffin and opened it, but Osiris was already dead. She used a spell to bring him back to life so she could become pregnant, but afterwards, he died again in his body in the desert. Months later, she gave birth to Horus, aka Tammuz, the patron deity of Nakan in Upper Egypt, who is often depicted as a falcon with a falcon's head. Later, hunting in the desert, Set came across the body of Osiris and tore it into 14 pieces, scattering them across the land. Isis, or Ishtar, or Astarte, or Easter, gathered up all the parts of the body except for the phallus. For those who don't know who the phallus is, it is a male genital part. Or it could also be a female genital part. Clitoris, or whatever. But for this instance, we're talking about the phallus. Stay with me. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Except for the phallus, which was eaten by... Are y'all ready for this? Which was eaten by a catfish. So for y'all who like to eat catfish, y'all gotta stop. Catfish are bottom feeders. They eat anything. They'll eat Nimrod's phallus. They'll eat chicken bones. They'll eat humans. They'll eat babies. They'll eat trash. They'll eat anything. And in the word, we're not supposed to be eating no fish without fins or scales. Catfish do not have scales. Do not eat catfish. Stop eating catfish. They're bottom feeders. If you like shrimp, You got to give shrimp up, by the way. While we're on the topic, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Got to give up that crab. Got to give up that pig, that swine, too. It's in a word. Maybe I'll do an episode on that. But got to let it go. Mind you, it took me a while. It took me a while to leave that pig alone. I used to love bacon. The smell of bacon. Bacon and burgers. Bacon in the morning, waking up, just the smell. That's an alarm clock itself. The smell of some home-cooked bacon? Oh, man. With a little, or if you ever had candied bacon, you couldn't. No. You know, it was my thing. I used to love pork ribs. With some barbecue sauce, grilled. Oh, man. I didn't know how I was going to give it up. And shrimp. I love shrimp. I used to love shrimp. I had to let go of oysters. Sometimes I got to pray a lot. Sometimes I think about oysters. And I got to stop. We ain't supposed to be eating oysters, mussels. No, we're not supposed to eat that. I know I'm off top. I'm going to get back on. But while we're talking about it, shrimp are water bugs. Just like roaches. Shrimp are the roaches of the sea. Crabs are like the spiders of the sea. That's what our body is our temple. Defile not your temple. We got to put the good stuff in, like berries and nuts and the good meat, like that lamb and maybe some salmon, some organic salmon, not that lab salmon, and maybe some duck and some good organic chicken, the chicken breast and stuff like that. All right, that's what we got to do. But I used to love shrimp cocktail, fried shrimp, smothered shrimp, grilled shrimp, shrimp salad, crab salad. I had to let it go. I had to. Now, by the grace of Yah, or for those who like to say God, but the appropriate name and the original source name is Yah, hence Kumbaya, hallelujah, Yah. By the grace of Yah, I can't even stand the smell of shrimp. I can't be around it. It's like throat start itching, coughing. It's like I can't deal with it. Oysters. Did you know that oysters, when they feel that they're attacked or they're trying to protect themselves, they secrete this type of liquid out of their genital area. And when this liquid hardens, in some oysters, not all, but when this liquid that secretes out of their genital area, it hardens and forms a pearl. And then women, if you like to wear pearls, you gotta let the pearls go. Pearls aren't created by, if you knew how they were created, you wouldn't wear them. If we're not supposed to eat oysters, what good are we supposed to wear oysters? That's like if we're not supposed to eat pigs, should I get a pig foot charm and put it around my neck? You know what I mean? It's a lot of things we gotta stop doing. But then again, like I said, I ain't perfect. I put on my pants just like you do. I gotta go to the bathroom like you do. I got flaws just like you do. I'm just human. We only human. We just gotta do better and be better people. But anyways, we're gonna talk about the phallus in a moment. That was about the catfish eating the phallus. Catfish will eat anything. All right? But the end of the story is basically that the guys were impressed by her devotion, by her, which they mean Easter's devotion, and her trying to resurrect Nimrod as the god of the underworld. That's what that's about. So, and there's scriptures about people baking cakes up to the Queen of Heaven, who is this Ishtar, this Easter type of lady or goddess, and we don't even know what we're doing. And during this time of Passover, we're not even supposed to be eating leavened bread. We're not supposed to be eating lemon meringue pie and pound cake and baked bread. Nothing with yeast in it at all. Anyways, I want to lighten up the mood a little bit. It's just a lot. We're going to take a quick break. This song that we'll be playing for you tonight is one that I recorded in early March, March 1st. It's from an album that was actually produced by a great friend of mine, T. Hemingway, and also an excellent mentor of mine, Yash Kara, who produced one of the beats. Pardon me. But in this song here is called Slow Dance. So this song, just imagine, a very good night, a very good meal. Maybe some good lamb, that Passover lamb, some of the bitter herbs, maybe a glass of grape juice. This is just a good song here that I created from the album called Freestyle the Album. Within about 25 minutes, I didn't know what I was gonna say. I just freestyled. They say if it comes from the heart, it's heartfelt. So I just pressed the record button and came up with this song. So it's called Slow Dance. Check it out, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Real TV. I just want to talk to you for a little bit. I gotta talk to you for a little bit. I see you in your all red dress, looking like a wine punch. My gosh, would love to take you out to lunch. Bow tie, black shoes, me and you. And you know I gotta wear tux. You deserve the finer things in life. Diamond rings and anything you need. Diamond rings and everything you need. And I love to, listen, I don't want to talk about your beauty. I just want to talk about the way that you are as a human being. Cause the way you make me feel, babe, I can't explain, so I had to get a track. I had to call my homeboy up to make a track, just to tell you how I feel on this track. And I'm hoping that you know, hope you understand, that I wanna have this dance with you tonight, baby. So let's slow dance tonight, baby. Yeah. And I love the way your smile is, and I love the way our time is, when we spending quality time together, and we holding hands in the city, and I remember our first trip to New York, and I I tripped up on that part, but I'm glad you got my heart. I'm glad that I met you. I know I can't sing, but I need to let you know that I so glad to have this dance with you. To have this dance with you is so special. Let's slow dance. Let's slow dance. I know I can't sing, babe, but I hope you like the melody. If I hit the studio, I'ma make you one. I'd make you a whole album if I had the money and the time to do it on one take. We can go somewhere on spring break, maybe Cancun, have the money, hit the moon. If I had the moon, I'd probably give you cheese. And if I had the hair store, I'd give you weave. And if I was a drug man, I'd give you weed. But I ain't that. And I don't smoke. And you know that I'm being real, cause I ain't joking. Baby, I ain't joking. I'm just glad to have the soul dance. I'm just glad to have the soul dance. And I'm glad to be your man. Yeah. Looking in your pretty eyes. Jamie Foxx, where you at? Jamie Foxx just sang the hook. Alright, y'all. Alright. We're back. That song was called Slow Dance. So, I hope that lightened the mood a little bit, but we gotta break this topic back down again. So, that hidden part that was missing after they cut up Nimrod's body or Cyrus's body into 14 pieces, and that one part that was missing that the catfish ate, that phallus, did you know, is the worship and symbolism that is across the entire world in major cities and countries, but in your country itself. We're talking about Washington, D.C. Monument, the obelisk. You know that one little skinny thing that has a triangle top? Well, that Washington Monument is called the obelisk. And it's crazy. The interesting part, or the interesting aspect about it, is that this statue was created by the Freemasons, for one. So, yeah, that's what it's all about. And again, maybe I'll do a video soon about most of this information, so you can visually see what's what, and a few excerpts along with that. But in a nutshell, guys, Easter is not what you think it is. Those eggs are not what you think it is. You know in your heart. You know when you see it, that doesn't have anything to do with about growth or new life or anything like that. It's just to satisfy emotion. And that's all that is. It's not about nothing real, nothing of importance. It's just a ritual of paganism. That's all it is. Ishtar's celebration and Tammuz's celebration. So I hope that you can do some of your own personal research and figure some of this out, and also be sure to share the word with your fellow ones and companions and those close to you, and even those not close to you. You know, maybe you can start your channel, also a channel, and do a broadcast about, you know, anything that is truth and this relevant information also. But I'll leave with this one last scripture that I came across here. This is in Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 18. So it's basically talking about what people are doing instead of doing Passover. What people are going to be doing instead of Passover. It says the children gather wood. So the children will be getting some coals and some wood, right? And it says, and the fathers kindle the fire. So the fathers are going to be on the grill cooking it up, throwing down on the grill. And the women knead their dough. The women going to be making cakes and muffins and cookies. It says to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Well, we just talked about who that is. Ishtar, Astarte, Isis, Astarte, you know what I mean? Venus. And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. Now I'm going to read that alone without the commentary. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire. The women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. Do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? And then it talks on a little more. Reads on a little more, pardon me. It's a little late. All right. So that's it in a nutshell for tonight. But I hope you get a glimpse of what I'm saying here. But the main part is that you also got to remember is that it's New Year. This is the new year right now. Even though it's spring, in the common world, in this real world right now, it is New Year. So Happy New Year to you. Research that also if you need more insight. We're going to finish up with this last song. It's called The Rapture. This is also from Freestyle the Album. There may be a Freestyle the Album Part 2 or FTA Part 2 sometime down the line. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. This song is called The Rapture. I would like to share with you a dream that I had last night. And so glad, I'm thankful it is morning to see the sun through the blinds and the lines on my chest from the sun rays. As I lay on this bed, I was scared, but I'm glad that I am awake. I'm glad that I can poetically incline these words. Poetically incline some verbs, some nouns of how it would happen. I had a dream that I was on a bus and I was alone, no driver and nobody on the bus, a yellow school bus. And I got off the bus as I looked through the window pane in the sky. And the moon was red and the sky was black and nobody was round. My heart just pound and pound and pound and pound and pound. As I looked around, I felt alone. It was like the world ended and I was the only one left home. Like a rapture happened. I was so scared because I was left there because I didn't love you right. I didn't become a part of the rapture that happened that night. Poetically inclined, I must try to convey these words to you. I don't know. I'm just glad that I'm awake. I'm glad that you're here next to me. I'm glad that you're here next to me. I gotta let the beat play.